Finally today, from my file of letting you know that defense tech is the new hotness in Silicon Valley, a few stories to back up that assertion. First up, there's a ton of conflicts around the world, if you haven't noticed, and military tech is playing a huge role in those conflicts. So, military tech is potentially an endless market at the moment. For example, Bloomberg says that the US, UK, and other allies are working to provide Ukraine with thousands of new AI-enabled drones that could swarm Russian targets simultaneously. This has been the long-time dream/nightmare of drone warfare for a while now. Quote, Western military planners developing the technology believe it could allow Ukraine to overwhelm certain Russian positions with the unmanned vehicles, said the people who asked not to be identified discussing sensitive matters. The drones could be sent to Ukraine within months, they said, while warning the timeline could slip. Drones have become increasingly important in the Russia-Ukraine war as the conflict approaches the 2-year mark, and a global race is on to develop new technologies that could shape the future of warfare. Russia is ramping up its own domestic production of battle drones to support the invasion and has received significant supplies from its ally, Iran. A coalition of Ukraine's allies has pledged to deliver 1 million drones to the country within a year, and the military said it used naval drones to destroy a Russian warship in the Black Sea last week. In January, White House officials met defense companies to discuss innovative battlefield technologies that could aid Ukraine in its bid to combat Russia's invasion, end quote. 1 million drones. What did I say about a potentially bottomless market? Here's data point number 2, quoting the Washington Post. Hundreds of bright young technologists have landed in California this weekend for a 2-day hackathon, a quintessential startup contest in which teams of coders race to build software. But rather than a posh, snack-laden San Francisco office, they'll work in a cavernous 6,000-square-foot warehouse in El Segundo, a refinery town southwest of Los Angeles. And instead of building mobile apps or AI chatbots, competitors will hack together surveillance tools, electronic warfare systems, or drone countermeasures for the front lines in Ukraine. Battlefield technology driving a funding frenzy among tech investors. Build hard tech for the defense of the West, a hackathon judge wrote on X, encouraging applicants. Defense, drones, Gundo, an organizer wrote using the city's nickname to promote the event. Between 2021 and 2023, investors funneled $108 billion into defense tech companies, building a range of cutting-edge tools, including hypersonic missiles, performance-enhancing wearables, and satellite surveillance systems, according to the data firm PitchBook, which predicts the defense tech market will surge to $184.7 billion by 2027. Skepticism against defense work has faded for younger generations raised on the tumult of foreign wars, a financial crisis, and the rising threat of China, said hackathon organizer Rasmus Day Meyer, a 20-year-old junior at Georgetown University School of Foreign Service. In the world's fragile state, Day Meyer said, quote, it's a lot more socially acceptable to be unabashedly patriotic in the national interest, end quote. To some among this new crop of tech workers and startup founders, defense contracting is a higher calling to extend American ideals into the next century. This group of mostly men believes in hard work, real innovation, and family values. They're eager to accelerate progress for America, and a growing number of investors can't wait to back them, end quote. On that, here's anecdote number 3. Bloomberg took a look at A16Z's growing D.C. lobbying operation, which spent almost $1 million in 2023, easily the most among VCs, and a lot of that was spent to help its defense-focused startups. Quote, A16Z's main priority is now its American dynamism practice, whose strategy is to invest in companies that work in sectors bolstering U.S. national interests. These include the aerospace company SpaceX, billion-dollar startups focused on military contracts such as Anduril and Shield AI, a startup called Radiant that's working on portable nuclear reactors, and the supply chain startup Flexport. David Yulovich, one of the A16Z partners in charge of the practice, sees these as areas where the firm's commercial interests can line up with the idealism of the people who work there. I am very patriotic. That's why I want to spend my time doing this, he says. But we do see this as a massive opportunity for our investors and to really build companies that have massive impact. Last year, the firm said it would dedicate $500 million to the practice. As of late 2023, it had invested more than 3 times that, according to Yulovich. Defense and aerospace in particular have become areas of increasing interest to the tech industry. Amazon, Google, and Microsoft have been pursuing government cloud computing deals. Anduril and SpaceX have become multi-billion-dollar concerns by winning government contracts, and venture capitalists are eager to put money into defense and space startups. Investors plowed $32.4 billion into such companies in 2023, more than 4 times the $7.7 billion they invested in 2017, according to data provider PitchBook. Concerns about Conflict with Russia and China have only accelerated this trend. Sentiment has changed with the invasion of Ukraine, says Amelia Pobasco, a senior fellow who studies tech and national security at Georgetown's Center for Security and Emerging Technology. People are eager to show that America does have values and they're worth defending, she says, end quote. Nothing for you today. Talk to you tomorrow.